You know, Chapter 1, Verse 1 in Financial Planning 101, as I said to my TV viewing audience a few moments ago, is managing risk. That's what they teach you in financial planning school. Help your client first and foremost manage risk. Yet, most financial planners want to talk about stocks and bonds and options and all this cool stuff. And if you watch CNBC or Fox Business or any Bloomberg, any of those business stations, that's what they talk about. They talk about the market this, the market that. And in reality, since that's all fine and well and good, it's great. But if you die, what good is it? If you become disabled, lose your job, get divorced, have some kind of a sickness, and that risk is unmanaged, if it is an unmanaged risk, then the question becomes, what good is it? All of those great option strategies, you have to liquidate your portfolio anyway to eat, to survive. And so today we tackle this whole subject of managing risk on this program. I hope everybody wrote down the major risks that they face in life, and we're going to talk about many of those with Mr. Gene Pastula, certified financial planner, who's been doing this most of it, if not all of his adult life, the so-called Plan B. Now, Gene, the death one's pretty easy to get around. You buy a life insurance policy, yet there's still a large percentage of the population that either don't purchase life insurance or purchase a temporary plan that expires and they forget to re-up it, or they get to an age where they say, well, I just don't need this anymore, and then they find out after they die, they're up in heaven, they look down on their spouses going, USOB, you, for canceling that policy.
Well, you know, the thing is that that typically, for most people, death is not imminent. So getting back to what I said earlier is that it's the imminent issues that are right in front of us that we tend to devote the most effort to and attention to, and will do something about. Ergo, the calls we get for somebody who calls in to talk and requests information on life insurance is generally somebody who's just been diagnosed with something very serious, and now their death is a much more potential, or ultimate death is much more real. Yeah,
let me address this real quick while they change out your microphone. I think they're having some trouble with the mic. So we're going to change that out and fix it. But on my list, I had death, disability, loss of job, divorce, illness, which would include long-term care. Now, when we get to the bottom of that list, it's something that affects 70% of us. 70%. And as I reported earlier, according to this NEFI study, they basically said that you're going to have 4 experiences over the course of your life up until age 70 where you have at least a 10% reduction in your income for an extended period of time. So when we talk, Gene, about job loss, that's a biggie. And it's hard to insure against job loss. You can buy disability insurance if you're disabled on the job, and that's fairly easy to acquire if you're insurable. And I think the point you were making is don't wait to buy this insurance, because many times when you need it, you can't get it.
Well, yeah, and it's going to be more expensive if you can. So, yeah, you know, nobody wants to insure a burning building against fire. I mean, that's not the idea. So you need to plan ahead. And I don't know that writing down all the things that could happen to you. That sounds like not a very fun thing to do of an evening. But you have to do it. That's right. I mean, if you're a real financial planner, I mean, I used to do this, as you know, for a living, and it's very uncomfortable. Let me tell you where the upside is. Once you go through all those with your client and you've got a solution for each and every one of them, they love you long time, as they say in the movies. And then you can move on to the sexy stuff, stocks and bonds and options and asset allocation and asset location and tax management and withdrawal strategies and all this other stuff that we talk about on the program here. But that is all irrelevant if you're sitting in a hospital bed somewhere. Yeah, and usually when you start to have to face those issues close up, I mean, the stress level goes way up. I mean, it's just not those particular items that you have to just dealing with them, but it makes life, it just doubles down and makes it even worse. If I have a disability and I have disability insurance, it's a lot easier to take that and get through it and what have you than it is if I know that every dollar that I'm spending is coming out of, the kids' education or, the household budget or what have you that can't be replaced, and that just doubles down on the issue. And so, in auto insurance, all of those things, it's important, and unfortunately they're not fun things.
Yeah, I didn't get to the casualty side of this. I guess you could make this list pretty long. Car accident, house burns down, earthquake. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But people are more familiar with those because in many instances, you can't buy a house unless that house is insured, at least get a mortgage on it. They're not going to let you drive the car off the lot without some kind of automobile insurance. But it's a little different. It's not like you got, the feds coming to your door and saying, let me see that insurance and disability policy.
Well, and the other thing is those kinds of things we can face and know that that we'll recover from in some fashion. What happens is when you're talking about the things we started out, death, disability, those types of things, we don't even want to talk about those because they're so tragic and it's like it's so ominous but the likelihood is so little, so I'm not going to do it, or I'll just put it off, or I'll do it next year or whatever.
All right, when we come back from the break, we're going to give you some solutions here. In the meantime, why don't you analyze your risks, at least the risks in your financial plan, with a real live certified financial planner that does this for a living. He's sort of semi-retired now, but he still works full-time. I don't know how you can be semi-retired and working full-time, but that's Gene Pastula, who's been doing this for 40 years. And literally thousands of brokers all around the country rely on him and his company and his services to do this, help their clients manage risk and keep it in the forefront of their minds. SafeMoneyMonitor.com. That's what he does. He monitors safe money and risk management strategies for you. Go to SafeMoneyMonitor.com and or simply call him 800-809-6783. Just say you want to talk to the boss. And I'm not talking about Springsteen here. I'm talking about Pastula. All right?
I play a pretty mean trumpet.
Do you?
I used to.
Can you play along with Kiki D? Because she's singing right now.
Kiki D?
Kiki D. She's fantastic. Crank that up, guys. There you go. We'll take a break. Come back with Mr. Pastula at SafeMoneyMonitor.com. There may not be anything that you'll hear on the air today or anywhere more important than managing risks. Make your list right now. Sit down with your financial advisor, get a hold of Gene, and he will help you manage your risk of death, disability, divorce. Oh, how are we going to manage the risk of divorce? We'll talk about solutions when we come back.